Hey guys, you're with me, Kevin, your scuba professional, and today I'm super excited because we get to review the new Garmin G1 dive computer that we've just launched on our website. I've got two of the first units that have arrived in the country. We have the Hurricane Blue and the Black unit for us to unbox, have a look at, and then dive on in to have a look at all its detailed functions. So let's get started. Which color should we use? I'm thinking Hurricane Blue. Okay, so let's take this guy open. Got my trusty knife. Just going to open the plastic over there. Christmas, always like opening new toys. Don't worry, that'll be recycled. To have a look on the bottom side, there is a little safety seal and a Garmin security seal. Gonna have to cut through those as well. Let's just pop that out the way and give that guy a bit of a snip. Alrighty, let's open up. Open. Complicated to open. Okay, one more time. There we go. Alrighty, so I'm just opening up the box. Please hold. There we go. Okay, so now we've got it open, so we're going to have a closer look at this unit. One more little cut, little safety seals on this guy. There we go. Okay, opening up and my first look at the unit, you guys can check it out as well. You see it's a nice small dive computer. My first impression, it looks very similar to the Garmin Instinct range of outdoor and multi-sport computers. That's because it is loosely based on that. It is the Garmin Instinct with a full dive computer built into it. Let's pull this out the way, see what other interesting things are going on in the box. That'll be recycled, don't worry. And let's pop out over here. More for recycling. Alright, so let's just open up the watch. We'll lay that down. I'll get to all the other things that are here. We have a long dive strap or an extension strap for this unit for you to attach to the bottom of the watch if you're diving in a dry suit or in a thicker wetsuit. You have your charging cable, your USB charging cable with your crocodile clip. You have instruction manuals and warranties and guarantees. Very important you read your instruction manuals beginning to end so you fully understand the complete workings of your new Garmin G1 Solar dive computer. So we'll put those out the way because I'm probably going to read it when we charge this unit up. So just holding it up so you guys can have a quick look at it. This is the Hurricane Blue one. It's got a nice bezel around the outside. There is 5 buttons around the outside. There is the wrist-based heart rate monitor. This is the new wrist-based heart rate monitor from Garmin. And then your charging point over there. Key point with this guy is that it is the new solar version. So that means while you're wearing this on your wrist, it will charge itself in the sun. Although it's not 100% charge that you're going to get out of it unless you sit in the sun the entire day, it will go a long way to extend the battery life between charges, which I think is great. And it has the quick fit straps, so it's very easy for you to clip on and clip off, for you to change your straps if you wanted to. So if I wanted to clip that guy off, it'd be very easy for me to clip the long strap on again as well. So let's just pop this guy back. And now I'm going to have to turn it on and we can dive on in to check out the functions. There's a little piece of plastic on there. It's like the new cell phone thing. I know some people like to leave them there. I like to peel it off. Watch it. Check it out. Whack. Off that goes. That's perfect. So let's turn it on. And first thing I see, it's not turning on. You know what? I need to charge it. So let me plug this guy in with my data clip or run outside to see if I can get some sun and we'll give this guy a charge. In case you're wondering, I do read the instruction manuals when these things are charging. Really interesting reading. Apnea hunt. Alright, now that we've got this guy all charged up, we can see our first screen here that you get to after the watch is turned on and set itself up. You've got your time across the bottom, you have your date. On the top right, you've got your battery percentage. On the top left, as well as some other peripheral info, that's dates and etc. To go into all the functions, you use your navigation button. So if I go to my top right button over here, click on that, that brings me to my dive functions. So you see my little single cylinder in the top right hand section, and that's for single gas. Single gas allows me to dive on normal air or nitrox. If I go down to multi-gas over there, multi-gas is for TriMix or accelerated deco, so I could put helium or multi-nitrox mixes in there if I was doing a tech dive. The next one down is my CCR. That's the completely closed rebreather. So this has rebreather functionality. So you could put it into this mode while diving on a rebreather, and it would also track your depths and times should you have a rebreather computer failure. Your gauge mode, that just turns off all other functions other than just timing how deep you are and how long you've been there. Also good for use in the pool, but good function with this watch is it does have a pool mode for dive instructors and dive masters. So you can go into the pool mode, and that will stop the ups and downs and starts and stops of dives, which happens with other dive computers. You have your apnea here, or your free dive mode, and then your apnea hunt. Apnea Hunt puts it into a silent mode, so all the alarms will stop beeping and it will vibrate on your arm. One of the things I like about this functionality with Apnea and Apnea Hunt, they've now built in a stopwatch into the unit, so at any time during a scuba dive or a free dive, you can set it to stopwatch mode with relevant alarms. You have your plan dive over here, so that'll allow you to plan your dives depending on your gas and previous dives you've done. It'll tell you how deep and how long you can go on your next dive. Tide information, you see the little wave of the tide there. Love these little graphics that they've put in there. Tides will, based on the app on your phone and where you're situated, the watch will tell you when the tide is coming in or going out. So if you were doing a dive in, say, Knysna, in South Africa at the Knysna Heads, it would tell you if the tide is going out or coming in before you go on your dive. If I push down further, we've got navigate, so that will show you the map navigation. You've got track me, so that'll just put on the GPS to track you while you're doing everything. And all the other multi-sports are going to start coming up now. There's over 34 different sports here. Everything from your run, your swim, your bike, and your hike. So let's see, you've got run and bike and hike and golf and pool swim, open water swimming, you've got your kayaks, your stand-up paddle, your surfing, boat, strength, yoga, skiing, cardio, floor climbs, elliptical, and it just keeps going on and on and on. So this is a full multi-sport watch. This is where the instinct functionality comes in, but back up the top you've got your full dive. So to go out, I'm just going to push back. It'll bring me to the time face again. On the top right is my light, but if I hold that in, that'll bring me to the different functionalities that I've got. I've got a backlight. I've got a do not disturb if I want to disconnect from my watch so it doesn't vibrate when messages come in. You've got your wallet for Garmin Pay. You've got your stopwatch functionality. You can add alarms. There's your pool mode on the top left. You can put that on, and that will stop it from registering dives. If you're an instructor and you're getting in and out of the water with your students, then you can power it off. You can set it to a battery saver, your backlights, and it just keeps going around with your lock keys. So those are your different watch settings there. If I pop back and then we push the middle button, if I hold it just for 1 second, it's just going to bring up a number of different functions there. You've got your surf line, that'll just tell you also about best times to go surfing, tides, what's happening with the currents in and out when you are out using this as an outdoor adventure watch. You can edit, so you can add different things to this section as well if you wanted to. And if I hold this button in for 2 seconds, 1, 2, it's got all my different functions there. So I've got my dive setup, I can change my watch face, different clocks for different time zones, and I can go into my history. So in dive setup, if I click the top right to select that, I can go in here and set my gases, whether it be nitrox or helium, my conservatism, how conservative I want it to be, water type for fresh or salt water, my partial pressure of oxygen if I'm diving on nitrox, as well as my alerts, and I can set up my apnea surf alerts, safety stops, end dive delays, so it'll tell me when to start going up to the surface, CCR set point, so that's based on the set point that you set your rebreathers to as far as your oxygen mixes are concerned. You can leave your backlight on or off. You've got your heart rate settings for the wrist, and you've got your double tap to scroll. This is a really handy function with this unit. If you're underwater and wearing a dry suit and it's difficult to get to these buttons, you can just tap the watch and that will scroll through the menus. and then you've got a whole bunch of other keys, silent diving, deco lockouts if you don't want the watch to not allow you to dive if you've gone into deco, etc. And then you can go right back to the beginning again. One of the things I really like on this unit is you can connect it to your mobile app, and you can set your gases, conservatism, and everything from the Garmin Dive app and not have to physically push any of the buttons on this unit, which I think is a really, really great addition. So before the dive, literally without pushing loads of buttons on your arms, you can just go into the app and set everything that you need to, which I think is amazing. Then if I push back and back again, I'm just going to hold that in to go out. It brings us back to the time mode again. So there's your overall functions as far as this unit's concerned. It's very, very similar to the Garmin Descent Mark 1, similar functionality that it's got there, as well as the Garmin Mark 2S, very similar functionality there. The Mark 2i Garmin's top of the range, that is the air transmitter integration. This unit at the moment just coming with the standard dive functions. It does not have air integration, but it's got all the other bits and bobs that you're going to need when you go diving. So I'm just holding the back out there. I'm push the top right. Just a reminder then, the single gas, multi-gas, CCR, gauge mode, apnea, and apnea hunt or silence. So overall, this is a great watch. You also have the location marking software on this. So at the beginning of a dive and the end of a dive, you can mark your location to find those really awesome dive spots. So when you're out on a boat and a skipper shows you his secret drop spot, you can mark it on the watch and go back there again. But also during a dive, if you're shore entering around Cape Town, Knysna, those areas, and you find a great bit of reef, you can come to the surface, wait for it to catch its satellites, and mark that spot for a future entry or exit, which we think is great. So let's zoom on out a bit now, and we'll do a size comparison between the Instinct, the new G1, sorry, not the Instinct, the Garmin G1, compared to the Mark 2S's and Mark 2I's. Now if you've zoomed out, you can get a more overall look of the unit itself. You can see the bezel around the outside looking really good. Flipping over the back, you can see the heart rate, wrist-based heart rate monitor, as well as your data charging clips. And on the side over here, you've got your solar charging panels. But to give you a size comparison for this unit to compare size-wise, here's a look at the Mark II dive computer. You can see that it's a much bigger unit compared to the G1. If I bring in the Mark IIS into shot here, you can see it's just marginally bigger. So this unit would sort of fit in between all three of these. So this watch would be a great crossover. It's both masculine and feminine as far as its size is concerned. It's not as bulky and big as the Mark II. The great thing with this unit I quite like is its monochromatic screen. It doesn't have all the color functions. However, that means that this battery is going to last a lot longer because it's not drawing as much power from the battery to power all the different colors. So thickness wise, if we compare the G1 to the Mark IIS, you can see they are exactly the same thickness. Really not much in it other than about half a mil. Maybe this one's a bit bigger. But from the bezel side, you can see that only a millimeter or two difference, and if I pop one on top of the other, you can see just the tiniest little bit bigger, the G1 there. In color, this one, the Hurricane Blue, also comes in a black, which would look very similar to the Mark II there. So there's your overview of sizing. It fits literally right in the middle of the Garmin range. So now that we've gone through all of these dive computers, they're my overview of the Garmin Descent G1 dive computer. I think this is going to be super, super popular based on its price point coming in at half the price of the Mark II unit. I know we're going to move a lot of these, and at the moment, at the time of recording this video, there's nothing else in diving that even comes close to touching this unit as far as its all-round functionality is concerned, as a multi-sports watch, as a full dive computer, its connectivity to the Garmin Dive app and all its functionality that you can set up, as well as dive functionality from single gas to multi-gas, full Nitrox, CCR, apnea and apnea hunt, and that really great pool setting for dive masters and instructors to stop it going in and out of dive mode, and the secret little mark your dive location. I think is going to make it a super, super popular unit, and this one being the solar charge unit. So it'll charge on your wrist on the way out and back from the dive site, and when you're tanning your tuchus on the beach, this is going to charge up as well. So that'll help a lot if you're out on those expedition boats like the Red Sea, etc. If you've got it on your wrist, this is going to definitely prolong the times needed between those dive charges. So there's our review of the Garmin Descent G1. Good looking dive computer, the perfect unit as far as the range is concerned, and we're super excited to get these out into the market. So that's it from me, guys. If you enjoy these product reviews, please feel free to subscribe to our YouTube channel or go check out our social streams. We've got them all of them. Just search Scuba.co.za and we're bound to come up. So that's it from me, guys, and I look forward to seeing you in the water really soon.